Hello and welcome to this tutorial of the Roblox Blender plugin, presented by me, Roquejo. In this tutorial, I will teach you how to install and use the Roblox Blender plugin in Roblox Studio and Blender. The first step is installing the Blender part of this plugin, which you will do by right-clicking, Save As, and you must save it as something blah 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 .py. You might want to make sure it's marked to all files and make sure it's saved as a Python file. Once this is done, you want to open up Blender, click on Edit, click on Preferences, Add-ons, Install, and look for the plugin you just downloaded, also known as the Python file. So here we have it on Downloads, and once you locate the script that you named, by the way the name isn't important for the Python file, you click on Install Add-on, wait a bit, check the box, and close. And now you have the Roblox plugin. Now, let's move to the Roblox install. Now, you want to open up Roblox Studio and install the Roblox plugin in the description. You also want to download Moon Animator if you haven't already. Once you've done that, you want to open up, insert a rig from Moon Animator. In this case, we're gonna insert an empty R6 rig to set the origin position of this rig to 0, 0, 0. So here we go, 0, 0, 0. And you will see him move to the center of the map. This is important, and if you don't do this, the animation and the rig in Blender will not work properly. Now, you want to select the reversed Blender animations plugin. The reason why it's reversed is because the original version was broken in the Roblox update, and as far as I know, it's still not fixed. And some people told me that it's fixed. I tested it, it isn't, but by the time I'm making this, it's not fixed, so you're gonna use the reverse version. Once you open up the plugin and select the rig, you want to click on Export Rig. And once you click on Export Rig, you want to save it in a part of your computer where it's easy to access. So we're gonna save it here on Roblox stuff. We're gonna call it blah.obj. Blah. Now, after you've done this, it is recommended to press Clean Meta Parts. If you don't do this, your Explorer tab is gonna look awful. We can close this for now, and we can open up Blender. Delete this cube. You can delete everything actually. And you can click on Import RBX Animations Rig Import. You want to look for the file you just saved. In my case, it's in a folder inside my desktop. Blah.obj, import rig, and there it is. Now, you want to click on this very small arrow, RBX Animations, Rebuild Rig, Local Y-Align Bones, and we're still not done. There's a bug going around with this old plugin, which actually doesn't attach the bones properly to the body. So, if I select the bones, and we move him, in this case, I've selected the right arm by accident, but you can see the bones are not attached to the actual body, which is really bad because we want that to actually be attached. So let me just return this to the normal state. And what you want to do is go to each individual part and rename them to what they're actually supposed to be. So, for example, this is the head. We're gonna call it Hell. Capital letters, case sensitivity, special characters, all need to be the same. This is the torso. This is the left arm. This is the right arm. And these are left arms. I mean, left legs. Oh yeah, I misspelled leg. Be very careful with that. And the right leg. And once you've done that, delete rig in Blender. Select rig meta, rebuild rig, local Y-line bones, and now if we go to animation, you can see the bones are working just fine. Now, before you start animating, make sure you click on this, which will enable auto keying. I'm gonna make a very simple animation. But before we do that, you want to select each bone. Actually, you can just select them all at once. Press G, and then press click. What this will do is set the starting position of your rig. So in this case, we want it to be completely stationary. Now, in your case, this might not be the case. You want it to start like maybe with a pose. Maybe you want it to start like with his arm up or something. I don't know. In this case, I'm just gonna set it as default. Now we can get animating. Now, a few very basic things about Blender. The middle button in your mouse moves the camera, or you can press F on your keyboard to get a free cam, which is very useful. Make sure to set the animation to end basically where you want it, where the animation ends. So in this case, the keyframe ends at 67. The animation ends at 67. So we want it to end at 67. Now we've tested. It should repeat after the last keyframes. Okay, so we got our animation done. You want to click on this arrow again. Click on RBX animations, export animation, and it should give you this small message. Make animation data exported to the system clipboard. Now you want to open up Roblox Studio again. Open the Blender plugin, select the rig, and before you do the last step, be very careful with this, because once you open up the plugin, it's gonna run the game. I'm actually gonna demonstrate this. So let's say we have a bunch of bricks here. So make sure to anchor everything. So once you've anchored everything and made sure your rigs don't fall apart like mine did, click on import animation, Control V, and now look at that. That's the animation we made in Blender. And now the actual last step, upload it to Roblox. So let's try again. There we go. And now the animation is in my Roblox inventory. I think something broke. Okay, so once you've done this, you want to actually close the game and then reopen it if you want to use Moon Animator, because Moon Animator breaks when you do this. I don't know why. So now that you have reloaded your world, you want to click on Moon Animator, new animation, blah 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 blah. Add your rig. Select an item, import to rig, select your target, set the import, keyframe sequence to ungroup, or group it if you want, because if you don't, it's gonna look like this, which is pretty annoying. And there we go. And that's how you use the Roblox Blender plugin. Blender has a lot more potential than Roblox Studio, because Blender was actually made to be functional, unlike Roblox Studio, which isn't. It's programmed with tin cans. But now that I've given you this tutorial, I suggest that you start doing your animations in Blender instead of Roblox Studio, because Blender is like a Swiss Army knife. It's really useful. Thank you for watching this tutorial.